Hello everybody, and welcome to Pentiment. This is a new game from Obsidian Studios, them what made Fallout New Vegas, which I like a lot. So I've been very excited about this, been really looking forward to playing it. Have only just got the chance to give it a shot now, but it is time for us to click New Game and get started. Although first, I just want to appreciate how good this settings menu looked. It's very satisfying. And we could look at the credits, but yes, time to start a new game. Ooh. Right, what kind of fonts do we want? I would like the proper fonts, the stylized, but I also don't know if, yeah. Nah, we'll just go with the stylized font. And we've got autosave, cool beans. Oh, here we go. Ah, I thought this would happen. Okay, I have a stone, which I can use to rub out this page. Guess I'll just rub everything out then. Oh, okay. Right, here we go. Xbox Game Studios presents. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. An Obsidian Entertainment production. Let's go. Bavaria, Holy Roman Empire, April 1518. Is that me? An artist sleeps, as they always do. An artist's mind. And are we in? Whoa! And the abbot said to me, Andreas. I can click. I don't want you distracting the sisters in the library. I need you to finish this commission by the end of April. Keep your conversations with brothers Piero to a minimum. I need you to, I don't know what the differences are. I'll go for the middle one. Isn't that much earlier than you were expecting? Yes, he told me I had until the end of the Ides of May. Oh, okay, and he's not going to pay you anymore, see? He has no appreciation for the cost of your sweat. The yield of labour should not be measured in coin, but in personal satisfaction and self-improvement. Personal satisfaction doesn't put much food on the table, though. This was made by artists. How do you reply to the abbot, Andreas? I told him it would be done when it was done. That's what I like to hear. Thanks, Saint Grobian. What's he gonna do? Find someone else to finish your work before May? Exactly. It's true. Making enemies with the abbot may not be wise, but he needs your work. And the doing of the work is its own virtue. Shut up, Socrates. Despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece. And then you will return to Nuremberg, where marriage and your new life as a master. Bro, I've been reading too much Game of Thrones. I saw Maester. And you will return to Nuremberg, where, yeah, your new life awaits you. Nuremberg, free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, major trade center, and city of art. Is that because I clicked on Nuremberg? I think it is, yeah. Yes, marriage to someone he's never met. Hardly ideal. Well, the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Shut up, Socrates. Jesus. Then you should definitely get married. Is she pretty at least? Can I click on Jesus? I can't. The spoil portrait they sent was lovely, but we artists can be flatterers. That's what my brother said in his letter. Who knows? That's not why I'm doing it. It is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. Ah, true, your majesty. Will you visit us again soon? Hopefully, but it's out of my control. I don't know. I can't always dream of this place. Oh, we're in a dream. Yeah. Dunno. I will pray for your safety and a swift return. Grobian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, your majesty. Until next time. Yeah, see you later, Broseph. Oh, I could skip along. Pay no mind to the other fools, Andreas. I never do. Ow. At least I would, if they'd stop stepping on my feet. Watch where you're going. They're fools. No point in trying to teach them anything. I know old John wants you to endure the abbot, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let him run you ragged, boy. I won't. He can't push me around. He's just trying to keep order in the abbey. I'm an outsider. It'll be fine. I don't want to cause trouble. Yeah, I don't want to cause trouble. There's no way to think about it. You need to stand up for yourself. If you say so. I keep getting stood on by fools. Gah! Would you please I'm guessing red means like emphasis then. I give up. Take me home, Grobian. Hehe, as you wish, Andreas. But now we're in the real world. Good morning, Ursula. Good, I like the different fonts. That's very cute. Time to get up. Number 1, The Baron, April 1518. J for quests. That was hidden behind my microphone. Another day, another few pages for the abbot and hopefully a few for myself. I need to get across town and head up to the abbey so I can start work at the scriptorium. Right, so E to interact, gotcha. The Picatrix, Key of Solomon, the Heptameron, Prior Ferenc keeps giving me all these books to read. I could just go back to bed, go down to the Gertner house. There's Ursula. Andrea. Okay, so she. Oh, I can click. Oh. Don't know why my mouse disappeared for a sec. Okay, so is this. Oh. That's the pause menu. Work hours it is. Yes, okay. That's my, yeah. Thing. Whoa, okay. Big map. Very interesting. Ex Libris. Okay, guessing that's like character sheet and stuff. Hello, Clara. Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, thank you. Well, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the Abbey, so I packed you some food. Almonds, cheese, and some of the rye you like from the Elbans. Otto wanted me to ask you to join him for dinner at the Abbey. And I can look at who people are. So that's what Otto looks like. Otto stopped by? Says Eva. Yes, around dawn. That's too kind of you, Clara. Many thanks. Master Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble. Oh, I love that. This, dipping the ink back in thing. That's beautifully well done. I mean, would it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? And if we raised it by 2 groschen? I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the Abbey, 2 months behind. Peter's losing his hair over it, even more than usual, I mean. And who's Peter? He's wearing a hat. He's bald. Of course. Hair. Now, the question, I can't promise anything. Okay, what's this? I'm not sure how to respond to this. Rent wasn't due until the beginning of May. Be generous, Andreas. You can spare the money and it will ease their burden. You must take the consequences of their inaction into account. What is this? Don't they pay taxes every year? Okay, so these are the people from my dream. That's Socrates, that's Beatrice, and that's Grobian. We'll be generous. She might think she can keep asking me for advances. I suppose that's not out of the question. So grateful, truly. I apologise again for asking. It's just awful to be stuck in such a position. Our taxes get harder to pay every year. Peter works hard, but it just never seems to like it's enough. St. Luke bless you for helping us out. Speaking of St. Luke, how is your masterpiece coming along? It's been 2 months now, hasn't it? And who's St. Luke? Christian evangelist, patron saint of artists and physicians. Slowly, I'm afraid. Most of my days are spent doing work for the Abbey. It's only during the Divine Office that Prior Ferenc allows me to work on my masterpiece. A reasonable restriction, but slow going. City Council doesn't require it to become a master. I'm making it mostly to show clients and for my own sake. And yes, when I do finish, I will go back to Nuremberg where I will marry and open a shop of my own. From Nuremberg to a university and now travelling the world as an artist. What a life you have ahead of you, Master Andreas. Yes, it does feel like I'm starting a new chapter in my life after... a little too much fun. It must be rather frightening starting all over again. Also, little detail, I like that I can see what I'm going to say before I say it, but not them, because I'm inside my own brain, but not theirs. Like, as the text gets filled in, you can see what's coming up. I owe it to my family to make something of my life. This will be remembered. They helped me even after I dropped out of uni. I can't let them down. I'm sure you make your family proud. Anyway, I don't know nothing about art, but I've seen you sketching such beautiful things in your little book. Your masterpiece must be wonderful. It's getting there. Hard work will get you all the way. That's what my father used to say, rest his soul. God rest his soul. Now I have to get back to my own work. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas, and we'll see you after Vespers for supper. Not tonight, but thank you. Klaus Drucker invited me over for supper. Of course, please say hello to the Druckers for us. Until later, Clara. Okay, so I can talk to Eva as well. I guess I'm staying with these people? That's kind of intriguing. And, okay, out into the farm. There's Peter. There's Il Peter. Okay, weird. And your boy can sprint. Oh, I've gone off. Big Jorg. Oh, sorry, Big Jorg, probably. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Big Jorg. How's it going? You working today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. He hit a big rock with the plough and it took me Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the Abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right, thank God for Sundays. Smells like a storm's coming, no? Just smells like fresh alpine air to me. You've been travelling too much. Where was it you spent your wandering years, during which a journeyman artist or craftsman travels far and wide to improve their skills? Before you came to Tassing? Right, background, here we go. So, Basel. Andreas knows some Italian and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Basel and nearby Bern, Zurich and Freiburg. So that's Switzerland, modern Switzerland. Flanders, Antwerp, Bruges and Ghent. That's like the Netherlands / Belgium. Italy, so Italian, Greek, Florence, Venice and Milan. So Italian and French, Italian and Greek. So it's Italian, Dutch, French and Greek, but I get 2 of them. We'll go with Flanders, I think. I feel like Flanders. Press and hold, got it. Antwerp, Bruges and Ghent, all the great art cities of Flanders. Where's that? North and west, down by the sea. Yeah, the sea air has confused your sense of smell. Spend enough time in these mountains and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will that take? 10-15 years? Don't think I've got that long, sorry bro. What do you spend all that time in Flanders doing anyway? Other than art. Okay, a background. So, seeks out pleasure, extremely social and quite experienced in all the enjoyable vices. Yeah, lives to work and dedicates all his time to his art. Spends all his non-working free time finding and reading books. A penchant for getting involved in petty schemes, pranks, minor crimes and fistfights. Or, yeah, making money. I like bookworm, because I'm a bookworm. Yes, Flanders has some of the most incredible manuscript illustrators in Christendom, and the books they produce are treasures, every one. I didn't realise that books meant that much to you. I've seen Father Thomas's Bible and a few other moons, haven't had much use for reading though. Anyway, have to get going. York, let's go! Dad's already acting like I'm taking too long even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andreas. Until later. Could head to the town commons. Let's talk with Peter. Andreas. He doesn't want to talk to me. Let's talk to Il Peter. God bless you. Andreas. Yes, Andreas. This weather's been god awful. This town's gone to crap since my days. I don't think the townsfolk could do much about the weather. Well, of course they wouldn't know how to do anything now. No one follows the old ways anymore. The old abbot didn't bother us much about our customs. He didn't mind if we left a little offering to Perkta, pagan goddess of the Alps, associated with animals and wool. She is still invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria and Swabia. Swabia, maybe. Matthias knew that... Yes, was it? Christ was in our hearts even if the White Lady's name was on our lips. I thought St. Moritz protected Tassing. Patron saint of Tassing. Legend states he was the Egyptian-born commander of a Roman legion who converted to Christianity. Okay. What sort of customs? The kind that scare away witches and keep spirits from calling storm clouds over our farms. The saints weren't the first to watch over Tassing. My father knew that old Ranig Kemper was. I knew that. Late husband of Attilia. Okay. That bastard abbot may not like us, but some of us keep the traditions alive. Like the old widow, Attilia. Yes, yes, she always hangs the door frames with lavender to keep the spirits out. I see. Alright, cool. Bye, Hill Peter. Let's go to the town commons then. Okay, so there's the farm. There's, yeah, blacksmith. Endrich Schmidt's smithy. It's much smaller than the one he uses at the abbey. There he is. Hello, Andreas. Okay. Okay, there's Martin. That's Hedy. Veronica. Okay. And, oh, right, here we go. Something's happening. Martin, please, can you give me a hand here? What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on them. That looks a lot like standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sake, help your cousin. Ah, morning, Andreas. Excuse us, one of the fence rails fell and the sheep started hopping. Anything I can do to help? Have you ever handled sheep before? No. Then no, but thank you. Christian of you to offer. Oh look, there's something going on up at the Steinauer's place. Uh-huh. Horses? Who's that on the horse? Looks rich. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky is giving him an earful. Christ, I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding when Johann pulled his pants down. So, Peter we saw earlier, Clara we know. Yeah, and I don't know who Johann is. Knocked two of my man's teeth out. You don't want to feel the strength behind a stonemason's anger. Do you think he's a noble? He looks really rich. God damn it, Martin, stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hedy? Behave yourself. Don't we have enough to deal with right now? Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get the sheep under control. Jeez, bro. Of course. See you later. Good luck. You didn't have to do me like that. Alright, so yeah, we'll go up this way. Church and Druckers. We do need to go to the abbey. Right, and oh. Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Morning, Klaus. Another day at the abbey, another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. You still coming by for supper tonight? Marie and Bert would love to see you. You really need to get your hands on the... You need to see these new woodcuts I have for an Italian edition of Thiel Eulenspiegel. I didn't realise Father Thomas let you print books in Italian. Come on, Andreas. He's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from... your sloppy typesetting. Again, very interesting method of showing his words come up. They get printed, they get stamped all at once, not written with a quill, because this guy's the printer. Heresy? See? Sure, why not? Some of the things people are publishing these days would make a bishop's head spin. Or an abbot's. Doesn't take much with that one. I know it, but at least I don't have to deal with him much. So, supper tonight after Vespers? Okay, I want to figure out what Vespers is. See you later. Okay. There's definitely a glossary though, right? Vespers. Monastic hour of dusk. Whoops. One of the major prayer hours, followed by supper. Gotcha. Alright, there's, yeah, Klaus and... who's this? Thomas. God bless Master Mailer? I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father. Just on my way up the hill to get to work. Good, good. I don't recall seeing you Sunday morning Mass. You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? Yes, I apologise, Father Thomas. I promise I'll make it Sunday. I stayed up too late on Saturday. Don't want to get into an argument. Man has many duties. This guy can't make you go to Mass. To hell with him. Gonna go with Beatrice. Mass can be an uplifting experience. I should make a better effort to get to Sunday Mass. I apologise. You don't have to make a promise to me, but your salvation is contingent on... Oh! What a blessed day to receive such an illustrious visitor. Master Mailer, this is Lorenz, Baron of Kothvogel. Rothvogel? A great lord from the countryside near Worms. Prosperous imperial free city in the western part of the empire, located on the Rhine River. Okay. Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbours here were as welcoming. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck and it was terribly dull. Okay, so Innsbruck, sorry. Capital of the Austrian county of Tyrol, major stop on the road. Closest major city to Tassing. Also, witch trials, quite a while ago. Venice, obviously one of the most powerful republics on the Italian peninsula. I mean, it has a certain charm common to these Alpine cities, but the place is crawling with nobles for the Emperor's Diet. An imperial diet is an assembly of 3 colleges of the imperial estates. The prince-electors, the princes and dukes, and the representatives of the imperial cities. Okay. The Emperor? Was he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly, but he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely, didn't want to bother him or the painter. Who was the artist, my lord? I'm sure you know him. An older man from Nuremberg with enough of a reputation to paint the Emperor. I'm sorry, my lord, I don't know who you mean. Have you not heard of Albrecht Dürer? Pity. I thought he was known across the empire. Renowned painter, revered in Venice. Yes, Emperor Maximilian I. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay for a bit longer in Innsbruck and I decided to ride ahead to make a visit to Kiersau. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, of course. Abbot of Kiersau before Father Gernot, yes. Widely respected, known for his kindness and his love of books. Great loss for the abbey and for us all. Indeed, by good fortune I recently came across a copy of the Historia Tassiae that he was reading during my last visit. An account of, Tassing. Excellent. Father Matthias was helping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of a scandal, heh. Ah yes. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Tassing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the abbey through Father Bernot. Gernot? Bernot? It doesn't say. And I have come to check on its progress. If you have come to see your manuscript, you should talk to Yes. Speak with young Master Mailer here. It is an honour to meet you, my lord. Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months he's also helping in the abbey scriptorium. A Nuremberg artist working in an abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk, Andreas. I must know the story. Yeah, okay. Scriptoriums are rare nowadays. Of course, my lord, it would be an honour. This would be remembered. So rare to find someone in the countryside who knows anything about art. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the abbey tonight. I'm inviting you to the abbot's table. Did the abbot invite me? Don't worry about it, Father. Just show up after Vespers. What is he going to do, refuse us? Excellent, we'll see you then. Miklaus, I'm dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses up to the abbey's guest house. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mailer. So now we've got a problem. This guy's invited us to supper after Vespers, just like the Druckers did. A journeyman from Nuremberg. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little old to not yet be a master. Are you unmarried? No, I'm not married, but in truth I came to my vocation later than my father and brothers. I was at university at Erfurt. Wonderful, the same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? A tremendous mind. He says things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him. Did you? You must tell me. No, he was a few years ahead of me. Still, his ideas do seem fascinating. I agree wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the abbey have heard of him. Perhaps they've even read his list of 95 theses against the church. Yeah. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gernot does not disappoint in that regard. But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies. Did you attend university? You seem well educated. No, my family is merely wealthy enough to have provided me with all of the books and tutors a child could dream of. I love all knowledge, from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everything in between and yet to come. I may misjudge the Baron. It seems he is as well read as any university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now there, did you earn your doctorate? Only a master's degree. I started working towards a doctorate but didn't finish. That's a shame. What was your area of study? Background? Okay. Theology? Imperial law? Medicine. I think we'll go with imperial law, maybe. Law. I suppose I thought I could practice in Nuremberg. I never had much interest in the subject, bit dull for my tastes. Shut up. Besides, the Empire is such a mess of jurisdictions, Bavarian law, Rhenish law, Franconian law, nonsense. I'd rather use my money to pay someone who studied the nonsense than learn it myself. Well, I'm available. You. If I had any faith, I'd have prayed you'd never show your face here again. Curse you, Lorenz Rothwogel. Perkter's dogs tearing you to pieces would be too kind a fate. These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? What was that about? Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old crone will be dead. Well, that's awkward. What of your early time in university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium, yes? The lower and upper divisions of a classic liberal arts education. Latin, grammar, logic, and rhetoric. So Latin, grammar, logic, and rhetoric form the trivium. Arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy form the quadrivium. Did you have a favourite subject? More background? Okay. Latinist. The Roman Republic, yes. Logician. Orator. Occultist. Heavens and earth. Yes, I like logician, because I'm a nerd. Logic, geometry, and arithmetic. Arithmetic. You silly. I was saying arithmetic. Was Aristotle's organon of the foundation of your study? Yes, the organon for logic and Euclid's elements for geometry, but the past few centuries have yielded wonderful new texts on logic. Peter Abelard provided the foundation of scholastic philosophy and established the primacy of Aristotle's work. Yeah, more philosophy. The Englishman William of Ockham gave us the Summa Logicae, arguing nominalism against Platonic realism. And of course, Thomas Aquinas gave us the tools to employ both faith and reason in the pursuit of truth. All monks and friars, of course, a great deal of work to force Aristotle to fit within the Church's vision of truth. But is that so wrong? This is pretty dense writing. I like it. I question that these great men would have had to wrestle such logic into what the Church established by fiat and force. And your other studies, was there anything else you excelled at? Okay, so I can choose another one. We'll go with Latinist. I focused on Latin. It's useful in so many ways, but especially for understanding manuscripts. Wonderful, a beautiful language used in the greatest empire in the world. Tell me, your favourite sententia? Which is commonly understood moral maxims originating from Rome or Greece. Quasi-logical rhetoric. I'm way too tired to play this game right now. Everyone enjoys the smell of their own farts. Remember to tell the tales of another's kindness many times, but whatever kind deed you do for others, keep quiet. Cato the Younger, an unflinching defender of the Republic. But what did his principles get him? Death at the hands of Caesar. Not quite true, he died by his own hand. And when Caesar learned of it, he said, Cato, I resent you for your death, but you denied me the chance to spare you. Bitter end, but not without a measure of sweetness. Ah, there's the Abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? Did you come to know of Kearsarge at all? My family have been patrons of Kearsarge for, I don't know, many generations. Some years ago I heard that Kearsarge still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. This is as good a place as any to create art. Certainly, though I'm sure you miss the comforts of Nuremberg when you're stuck in a drafty old abbey like this. I'll get back there soon enough, I'm in no rush. It's good for me, since I still appreciate the Abbey's work. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Gernot many years ago. I thought it would stop by and check on the progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no, I do know the artist well, the venerable brother Piero. We've heard about him already. There he is with his beard. How venerable? He still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with colour. Then I very much look forward to seeing it. Well, let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Nuns. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they're separated. The church closed most of them centuries ago. But then Kirsor is a place at a time, in more ways than one. Let's just say nothing. Yo! Is that Father Thomas? Father Gernot. I am Lawrence, Baron of... Yes, the Baron of Rothvogel. So wonderful to have you here again. We actually did meet on your last visit. That's a very difficult to read font. I'm not good with remembering faces. Please forgive me, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. I rode ahead. Couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Yes, I mean no, it's no trouble. Do you want to see it now? In a moment, I could do with a bit of refreshment. May I grab something from the kitchen? Yes, certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium now. Of course, Father. I'm eager to get to work. Then get to work. Sheesh, I'm late and he's not happy about that. Should have asked him for advice I should have asked him about an advance for the Gertner's taxes. Maybe I could just convince Brother Matthew to pay me early. Okay. Find a way to get paid. Yo, new quest dropped. Okay. Scriptorium's right at the back of the church, it would seem. Yes, monastery. Oh, Rudiger. God bless you, Andreas. Thank you. Has your voice yet recovered from Easter Mass, Rudiger? Oh yes, it was a bit of a strain, but a worthy sacrifice. Well, if the Lord could give his all on Easter. Exactly. Have a good day in the scriptorium. Have a good day singing. Okay. Cloister, crypt, tower. I can hear some music. Dorm, Old Bailey, Matthew, sacristy. Alright, Matthew. God bless you, Andreas. How is the sacristy today, Matthew? Same as yesterday. Does my vocation seem silly to you, Master Mailer? No, I was just being friendly. Then go in peace, friend, knowing that the Abbey's treasures are secure for another day. God be with you. Okay, one more thing. I have a favour to ask you. I was hoping you could give me my pay for the latest manuscript early. This isn't part of the agreement you made with Father Gernot. You'll be paid on the completion of each additional manuscript you illuminate, not before. Can you make an exception this once? Not without good reason. This abbey runs through mutual agreement, not haphazard payments. Breaking such contracts would cause undue trouble, not only for Kirsor, but for Tassing as well. Is that why the Father Abbot has increased? Yeah. Taxes. What is this about, Andreas? They've asked me for their rent early so they can pay the taxes to their abbey. Yes. I see. Very well. Do not ask this of me again, Andreas Mailer. Here you are. I shall note this with Father Gernot and Prior Ferenc. Thank you, Brother Matthew. God bless you, Andreas. Alright, now that I've got my payment, I can give Clara the rent early. Give it to her directly to make sure she receives it. Good idea. Okay, so where actually is the, Oh, it's him singing. Fascinating. Okay, church. I guess I go down between the dormitory and the courtyard. Ah, there we go, scriptorium. There he is. There's big boy Piero. Andreas, God bless you. So good to see you. Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. I don't like this weather. My bones ache. It means a storm is coming, says Adoc. Big Your Gertner says that if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. Brother Adok has been here long enough that we can always smell him coming, says Guy. Do not forget, Brother Guy, the fate of youths who jeered the aged prophet Elisha outside of Bethel. Are you comparing yourself to a prophet, Brother Adok? I am comparing you to an impudent youth whom the Lord, in his ineffable wisdom, may choose to strike down. Say nothing. Well, everyone seems quite lively. I suppose that means Prior Ferrink is not overseeing us today. He was here, but then he heard Lorenz Rothvogel had arrived, and he hurried out like a little mouse. Frank is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rothvogel is pathetic. You feign kindness to Father Abbot and our prior, only to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful. Oh no, Brother Rothvogel, his manuscript. I just realised that he'll want to see his manuscript. How silly of me. Of course, that's why he is visiting. Better get back to it. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you would need to worry about such patrons' visits. Guys, someday you will stand where Piero is now, and a young monk will stand where you are. Mors estiam Daphnidi siculo venit. Death also came to Daphnis of Sicily. Huh. Anyway, what's the problem? The Baron is just a client, he has to wait like anyone else. Baron Rothvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including the Prince Bishop of Freising. Kiesor is already out of favour. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. Well, if Prior Ferenc isn't here, I'm going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. That's right, I need to reference the Indermore manuscript. What do you want, Andreas? A book, the Indermore manuscript, the Book of Hours. Your hair looks messy today. Did you get enough sleep? Can I just get the book? That's all the way upstairs. Can't you get by without it? Sorry, but I need to reference it for my work. Really? My feet hurt and the stairs are so steep. I'm just going to ask Illuminata to get it. Sister Illuminata! Andreas needs help finding a book and I don't know where it is. Andreas? Sister Illuminata, I'd like to borrow the Indermore manuscript, the Book of Hours. Yes, I overheard. Here, please return it promptly. Let's go! Book acquired. Andreas, may I see how your masterpiece is coming? Of course, your opinion is always welcome. Yes, the composition is lovely. There is a joyful spirit in your arrangement of the figures. The contrast of colours is also quite nice, rich and beautiful on their own, but not overpowering the scene. Doesn't feel right, I don't know why. It's an excellent interpretation of someone else's work. What do you mean? It's all my work. My son, you're copying the illustration from the Indermore manuscript almost exactly. So, what's wrong with that? Haven't I improved? Aesthetically, yes, but I feel you have not given much thought to what it represents. It's November. In November we show peasants leading the pigs into the forest to forage on account of acorns. Andreas, the peasants here are no longer allowed to forage for acorns in the forest. Many great lords and abbots across the empire have forbidden it, even Father Gernot. What difference does it make? This is the way November is painted. But it is not the way November is. Ah. Art is illusion, storytelling, but in their most sublime form, these images illuminate a path to truth. They won't pay me for truth. Yes, but with God's grace, this book of ours will outlive us all. What would it say to those who see it in a future generation, countries, centuries beyond our comprehension? Some will gaze deep into your lines and paint to seek a deeper meaning. What will they find? But you need not listen to my opinions, they are just the thought of an old monk. There is no place in the monastic scripture anymore. In truth, this room is a place out of time. Does that make you sad? I admit I'm still fond of the old styles of lettering and illumination, but even in my youth I knew it could not last. The creation of books, of art, is no longer the province of monasteries, so be it. More people will be able to write, more will be able to read, and in doing, be brought to truth. Don't you think there's a danger in anyone being able to write, anyone being able to read anything? There is danger, but printers are already here. We cannot roll back the wheel of time. It is left to you and generations who follow to be good and responsible stewards for those who yet to come. The rest is in God's hands. And, okay, time is advanced. Where has the time gone? It is already terse. Too much talk. I must ask forgiveness for not honouring the rule. Yes, okay. Until later, Andreas. Until later. Whoops, dropped some ink. What's going on here? What's going on in here? I don't know, but I want to see what this guy did over here. Guess I can't. Oh well. Andreas, what was that noise? I knocked a bowl of paint to the floor. But then, Prior Ferring came in, wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed and left. He was in such a hurry I don't think he noticed me. He was slamming books shut? Ferring should know better than that. Some of these manuscripts are quite delicate. Aha! I fully agree. Many contain precious wisdom that can aid even the unenlightened in growing closer to God. They should be protected and cared for. Which is why books should not be taken out of the library unless it is necessary for divine reading or worked in the scriptorium. Are you still mad at me for borrowing the Chronica Clara? No, anger is not an appropriate response for a nun, but the fact remains that you tricked me into giving you that book for no valid reason. You sound angry. You should not interpret my disappointment as anger. You should understand where it is directed. It is ultimately my fault, but it's my responsibility to be more vigilant about what books you can take from the library. Now, if you'll excuse me... Wait, what's all this fuss about Lorenz Rothvogel? Why is Prior Ferring so nervous? Lorenz? I didn't know you were familiar enough with the man to use his Christian name. Anyway, I haven't dealt with him personally, but the Prior and the Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years, and he paid enough to help the Abbey when he needed it. Like what? What did he buy? Can't remember. I have my own responsibilities to attend to. How about this? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron. Of course. It's for the good of the Abbey. Where should I begin? Out there, where you and your cohorts have carelessly strewn books about the scriptorium. I will tell you what books. The first books are 2 volumes of the Aeneid. Yep. Reddish covers, 14 inches by 10 inches, 3 inches thick. Innsbruck inches or Nuremberg inches? What? Nuremberg inches are... What colour are the covers again? Reddish. I know the one. They're among Pierre's favourites. He keeps them by my desk. They're not his to keep. Fair amount of wear on these, I hope you don't mind. These volumes were old even when Piero started to make the copies. How long ago was that? 3 years. The Aeneid is not one of my favourite stories, but I understand why it appeals to Piero. Yo, she's in there. Aeneas chose his duty over to the gods over his lover Dido. Italiam non sponte secor. I do not go to Italy willingly. I did not make you for a scholar of Roman poetry, Andreas. The words sit easily in my memory, I'm not sure why. Probably out of love rather than duty. Do you think Aeneas' sense of duty appeals to Piero? We all have our vocations, Brother Piero takes his more seriously than most of the others in this abbey. You clearly take yours very seriously. Andreas, I didn't have a choice in my vocation, few women do. True, but that doesn't mean women can't take pride in their vocations. Is it really that bad? Is being a woman that limiting? How would you know? True, she knows her life better than I do. In the City of Ladies, Christine de Pizan defended women of all classes by showing their value to society. An admirable effort, but even if we do exactly as we are told, we are portrayed as vehicles of sin. It is very sad indeed. Temptresses and seducers by virtue of our sex, even when men are the aggressors. Even in the abbey we must travel in pairs, lest we tempt the brothers or others. And here, in these pages, Virgil cast Dido as Aeneas' seducer, even though it was the gods that thrust her into his arms. Like Dido, we are ordinary women, are merely tools in the tales of men. We can never be the protagonists of our own stories. No woman is exempt from that, from the empress to a nun. It is our lot. I suppose I understand now why you are not fond of the Aeneid. It's fine poetry, for men. Now, the books, if you please. Jeez, 15th century social commentary, let's go. Thank you. Next. What, Ariana Grande? What are you? Wretched Guerin. This is a printed copy, green covered diamond pattern. I do not have the size in the ledger, but hopefully the description is enough. Another one you're talking about. Brother Adoc was reading it. Okay, so that's back here. The beauty of this book truly belies its ridiculous content. I'm surprised the Abbey owes a copy. We don't. It belongs to Amadea Rusco of Lugano. It is a Venetian edition that's quite valuable. He loaned it to us 5 years ago. It was subsequently lost, and the abbot has received 3 letters about it. Well, I've certainly seen the brothers enjoying it. That book is not appropriate reading for Benedictine monks. A baby is sold to pirates, raised a servant, and then lives a life fighting adventure. Wooing princesses and fighting in tournaments. You forgot the best part. In the end, Guerin learns he has royal blood, the son of a duke. He reigns as king and dies a pious hermit. What's not to love? Benedictines should be dreaming of reconciliation with our Lord, not lusty adventures. What's the harm? Fantasy leads to temptation. Temptation leads to the downfall of many men and women. Sometimes, but books like this, it's all the same type of fantasy, isn't it? To die better than we are born. And what's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a peasant dream of being a king? There is neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Jesus Christ. We may all be one in Christ, but we are not equal in this world. It isn't in this world you should be concerned with, Andreas. But the book, we must return it, or would you like the abbot to receive a 4th letter? Yes, in truth, it's unlikely you'd be considered liable under Bavarian law. You're a legal scholar now. Yes, I did study law at university. I don't care. Alright, bro. Jeez. There is only 1 book left, then you'll be freed from bondage. A dark red cover, 8 thick, 5 across, 2 thick. What is it? The description should be sufficient. Very well. Here it is. Now that I think about it, Guy has always been guarded about this book, like he was hiding it. Very good, please bring it here. What is this, anyway? Ah, it's in French. The soul that God touched, empty of sin, the first state of grace. What is this? Why are you asking so many questions? Just give it to me. I've asked 1 question twice and you haven't answered me. I have good reason. Yes. 3 French bishops condemned the book. All copies were to be burned. Its author shared the same fate. What? Why? I don't know, Andreas. It just isn't my place to question the judgment of 1 bishop, less 3. And before you ask, no, I haven't read it, but I do know it contains a dialogue between love and reason. So the book is dangerous. When did the bishops condemn it? 200 years ago. Why is it still here? Because Father Matthias loved books. All books. He didn't want to see it destroyed. Yeah, I can get with that. That's fine, but Father Matthias is gone. It's not my place to question the former abbot's decision, but when Father Gernot learned it was in our possession, he wanted it destroyed. Fine, take it. Good, it's for the best, thank you. Now then, Baron Rothvogel, quickly though, I need to finish up here soon. He seemed unusually friendly with me. Oh, hang on. She may only have time to answer 1 question, so I should choose carefully. Yes. The Baron is quite wealthy, educated, and he loves fine art. I think it's clear why he enjoys your company. Most of his peers don't share his passion for modern thinking, nor are they as interested in art. You are a rare thing, Andreas Mailer. An artist with a university education. You may not be of high birth, but whatever the Baron's faults, he chooses to fraternise with common people. Sometimes with unpleasant consequences. What, did he get involved with someone in the town? I only know rumours. A simple argument between the Baron and a man. It became violent. Was it Lucky Steinauer? No. Besides, I can't imagine the Baron would get the upper hand on a man the size of Lucky. Do you know why they call him Lucky? He survived 2 pieces of masonry falling on him. One was a gargoyle he put back up on the church's roof himself after it fell on him. In any case, I doubt Lucky was the man the Baron fought with. Should I be concerned for my safety? I can't say. I don't know Baron Rothvogel much more than you do. But there is an inherent danger to walking in the shadow of a powerful man. Just be careful. Well, I must be off to Mass. Thank you again for your help, Andreas. How will you get to the church if you can't enter the scriptorium? I thought this was the only door into the library. We're standing in the oldest part of the abbey, and like any old place, it has its share of secrets. Good day, Andreas, and God be with you. Yes, that's the bell for Sext. Okay. I should see if Otto is still around and wants to eat with me. I think he's working by the guest house below the abbey. But this is very fun. I'm enjoying this a lot. This is, yeah, looking pretty good. I think I definitely will be playing this more. Let me know if you want me to play it on stream. Haven't played Crusader Kings 3 in a while. I apologise. Yeah, with university, I just don't have that much time for streaming, unfortunately. So, yeah, let me know if you want to see more Pentiment. I'm personally enjoying it a lot. It looks great. Yeah, it's very pleasing to look at. It's very well written so far. Got a lot of dense dialogue, very Obsidian-y sort of dialogue. Reminds me of, yeah, the dialogue in New Vegas, which is obviously a very good thing. Yeah, and you can tell this is very accurate as well, because it's not like other depictions of medieval, high medieval Holy Roman Empire that I remember. But yeah, anyway, so thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see everybody in the next video/stream. Thank you very much, and goodbye.